everyone. I'm Taegan Evans with the Spotlight Media Network, and today I'm here with Barb DeJacimo, Helene Becker, Tricia Adkins, and Bill Wood with the Rotary Youth Exchange Program. And today I'm going to be talking about them with their involvement with Louisville. Before we get started, here's a word from our sponsors. Hello everyone, I'm Taegan Evans. As many of you know, when the Louisville Herald moved on into retirement, the city of Louisville, Nimishillen Township, and all of its community members were left with a void. The community lost its ability to hear about local events, news, information, sports, and community projects. We lost the ability to come together for Louisville's betterment. Well, we have a solution for you, Spotlight Media Network. Spotlight Media Network is a place anyone can go, whether it be social media, YouTube, or our website, that will display information in different formats to show the best Louisville has to offer. One last thing, if you have something newsworthy or something you would like the community of Louisville to hear about, send us an email at spotlightlouisville1@gmail.com. So if you want to see what is happening in Louisville or the best Louisville has to offer, check out Spotlight Media Network, where we know Louisville is number one. Before we get into the details about the program, can you all just quickly introduce yourselves and your involvement with Youth Exchange?
Sure. My name is Barb DeJacimo. I am actually the current president of Louisville Rotary Club, only until the end of June though, then I pass it off. But what I will continue to serve as is the Rotary Youth Exchange Counselor for our club. And as a Youth Exchange Counselor, I do things like help match exchange students to host families in our community, making sure they're a good match, meeting with the host family and providing them support, meeting monthly at least with the exchange student, and I'm there to, again, give support, answer questions, if anything comes up that needs resolved, help them resolve any conflicts they might have at home or in the school, or if they need to find a new placement, but just generally be there to listen and provide a friendship and counseling to them every month. It's really nice going out with Helene and getting coffee or getting ice cream and just catching up and getting to know about her and her family back home and her family in Louisville.
I'm Helene Becker, I'm 17 years old, and I'm from Germany, and I'm the exchange student here in Louisville.
I'm Tricia Adkins. I have been a host parent. I'm going to be a host parent again later this summer. My youngest daughter is going to be an exchange student in about 2 weeks, and I'm the teacher advisor for the Louisville High School Ambassador Exchange Program, which is a group of high school kids who come in and help the new exchange students find a place and find their interests and kind of support them as a group of friends.
And I'm Bill Wood. I'm the Youth Exchange Officer for the Louisville Rotary Club. I've been doing this for, I think, a little over 10 years now. Mainly I'm responsible for getting all the paperwork done, helping to find and select host families and get them qualified, and generally back up the students and Barb as being the counselor.
So first off, what does the Youth Exchange Program do here within Louisville?
Well, for, I believe, over 50 years now, before my time, the Louisville Rotary Club has been hosting an inbound student, and some years 2 students. The students arrive at the beginning of the school year in August and stay until usually late June, early July before they go home. They have to attend school regularly and get decent grades and usually they get at least 2, maybe even 3 host families during the year. Some years it's only 1, but it could be up to 3 host families. And just generally be in charge of the program and make sure that they're happy and staying busy. We don't want them to get homesick, which could happen if they're not busy enough. And certainly Helena has been very busy this year. I think homesickness is not anything that's happened with her.
So, Helene, you're just currently the exchange student here at Louisville. Tell me a little bit about your experience within Louisville, going to a whole different country and living with new families.
So I've always wanted to be an exchange student. I think that wish started since my mom always told me about it because she was an exchange student when she was 17. And I went on a youth trip when I was 15 to Italy. And since then I was like, I want to go further away, more than by myself and like in another country and living there for a longer time than just 2 weeks, which was the youth trip. And so I reached out to the Rotary Youth Exchange Program, and yeah, then I came here and I've really enjoyed my year here. I've done so many things. I've traveled around the country with the Rotary and with my host family and also with friends. I attended the high school here in Louisville and I was in the marching band, which was also really cool. We went to Disney World in February with the marching band, and yeah, those are just some highlights that I experienced here in my year, and I really enjoyed being here.
So the Rotary, the purpose of the program is, again, to spread cultural awareness and understanding, both abroad and at home. It is actually part of the State Department why they let students come over on student visas, to develop that cultural awareness and understanding so that they can go, like Helene can go back to Germany and tell people what the United States is really like and what the people are really like, and to help develop those friendships. We try and make it an affordable kind of opportunity for students, so not out of reach with some other programs. We help support, for example, when Helene was here, our Rotary Club, to help the host family out and to help Helene out, gave her a small allowance of spending money every month, and we covered her school lunches. We provided those trip opportunities to New York and DC, and we just try and, again, just give them like the best experience possible, and also just to expose our students who might not be the same kind of world travelers that European students are, where it's easy to go from country to country. Mm-hmm. So many of our students are kind of insulated in Louisville, and this just gives us an opportunity to open up a greater world to them.
Yeah. So Tricia, you were just recently a host.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you on the other side of things, and what made you really want to do it?
We actually had never really thought about doing it before until Barb reached out to us, and we asked our youngest daughter, who was still living at home, if what she thought. She was going to be a junior at that time, and she was all on board. And so we kind of jumped in. At the time, we didn't know if we would have our host or our exchange student for a year or a few months or whatever. She ended up staying with us for her whole stay. And it was great. It was, I have a daughter in Spain now. It was a really great experience. And yeah, thinking about her it always makes me a little emotional, because it was great for our family, not just us, but the community, my daughter's friends, our extended family. We all got to know so much more about places we have never been. And it has inspired my daughter then to want to do that as well. So because of having the experience of hosting, Eliza's going to go and be an exchange student now, and she would have never even considered that before without being a part of this on this end of it.
Mm-hmm. So currently, the Rotary is looking for 2 exchange students, or they have 2 exchange students set for next year. But you guys need 1 more host family, correct?
Yes, to start the year in August, we
Okay.
still need to find 1 more host family.
So What do you guys feel is the importance of youth exchange, and maybe why should more people consider doing it that they don't know why?
Well, I think I was at a graduation party just 10 days ago or so. And I was talking to the young girl who graduated, talking to her mother, who said that being a host family had changed their daughter a great deal. Excuse me, a great deal. That she used to be very shy and introverted, and that this experience of having a new sister in the family from another country, and that the daughter needed to help nurture this a girl from another country, and that had brought her out of her shell, and that she had blossomed and now was at ease in meeting new people and spending time, not being so shy. So I think it can do that for other families. Maybe other families don't need that, but I've been involved with a lot of host families, and I've never heard one, I don't think, that said it was a bad experience. It's a learning, growing experience for everybody in the family of any age. And it's been fun for everybody, I think.
As the youth exchange counselor, I was going to say my younger daughter is at Louisville High School right now. She just finished her freshman year. And so Aran, who is Tricia's daughter, who I'm also very, very close to and has brought plenty of blessings into my life. She was the same age as my older daughter, Bridget, and it was a nice little fill-in with Bridget going off to college, to be honestly. It was a nice little emotional support and just the sweetest thing. But I know Amanda someday would like to host, but as the counselor, until I find someone else to take over the counselor position for a year, we are unable to host because I have to be the safe place to go to, right?
Yes.
And if they were living with me and something was going wrong for them in the household, we wouldn't be able to do that. But it's for the same reasons. I mean, Amanda has been able to interact with Aran and Helene and just seeing the blessings it's brought to her life and the effect it's had on her, and really, it's a really good thing for her. And so I would say,
I will say too, kids can learn about other countries in school or whatever, but it's a whole different level when you have someone in your home who will bring their food. I know Aran made paella for us. Have you cooked for your family?
I haven't.
But other things, your traditions. I know I've learned about some of your traditions, the Christmas tree with the real candles and everything. So actually living with somebody who brings in their foods and their traditions, and you really start understanding someone else's culture so much better. And kids need to learn how to interact. We teach our Louisville Leopards to be upstanders, and this is like the ultimate upstander here. You're bringing somebody in and you're welcoming them into your community, and you're learning about them and they're learning about you. I really think this is good on both sides.
Mm-hmm. So for people who don't know, what is the process like of becoming a host family?
I'll let you take that.
Okay. Once a family says we're thinking we'd like to do this, then we sit down with them and go over the plan, go over all the rules that the host family has, but we also point out the student has rules too, and we go over that. We talk about insurance and money and religion and all of those kind of things so that we have a good understanding that this prospective host family is going to work. And then the next thing is they fill out a host family application online. They get an email back shortly after that asking them to do what we call a criminal background check, which is just a check of the local courts around here to make sure that we're not getting involved with a person who's had a history of sex crimes or violence or anything like that. And then there's 2 online courses that they take about being a host family and about abuse of young people and understanding that. And that's pretty much it.
And I just wanted to point out too, you don't have to be like rich to be a host family. What you're doing is you're providing them room and board. They have to have their own bed. They don't have to have their own room. If they're sharing a room, it needs to be with someone of the same gender and it needs to be near their age. They don't have to have their own bathroom. You don't have to pay for all their extra activities. They will cover that. You just have to love them, really, and treat them as one of your own and give them responsibilities at home. And I mean, how has it worked for you?
I mean, living with a host family was a great thing for me. I love my host family. And like Tricia said earlier, it's just a great exchange between the exchange student and the host family. And yeah, I feel like we both, like my family and me, we learned from each other and a lot of like culture things and stuff. So it's just great to live with a family that actually treats you like their own child.
Host families should ask the exchange student to do the same kind of things around the house, like clean up the table, do the dishes, whatever, that their own children do. I recall once a boy from Brazil was asked at a meeting, what have you learned here in the United States that you didn't know in Brazil? And he said, I learned where the garbage goes. And people were laughing, and he said, no. He said, in Brazil, he's from a wealthy family, and he said, I think the maids just pick up garbage, and I never thought about where it goes. But when I got here, my host mom said, hey, it's Tuesday night, come with me and I'll show you what your job is on Tuesday nights. And they went around and picked up trash out of all the containers in different rooms of the house and out of the kitchen. And she said, okay, now we take it out here and put it in the garbage pail. And then she said, now we take the garbage pail out on the street. And tomorrow when you come home from school, it should be empty and you bring the garbage pail back in and put it here. And he said, now I know where the garbage goes. He had never thought about it before.
I think that's like such a good illustration that it's a host family. It's not a host bed and breakfast. That's not the service you're providing. You are taking someone in as one of your own, and like Bill said, giving them responsibilities, and what they need most, more than anything, is love.
Yeah.
Yes, I had an exchange student here in this area once tell me that that's what they needed most of all. Wasn't fancy food or going places. They needed love.
Because they're away from their families, and I know we noticed, especially around the holidays, you really had to give a little extra love because they were with their families. So that's a big part of it. And if anybody is, concerned like this is so much to take on, it's really not. The Rotary provides so much support. You guys will help with the kids if they need a ride somewhere. There's always people willing to pitch in and help. So you not only get an exchange student, you get a community helping you with that exchange student as well.
Yeah, I never thought about, when I would think about the exchange students, I never thought about them learning how to do household chores that they might not have to do from where they come from. So I think that's definitely interesting. And I think after having the discussion today, I learned like a whole new level of importance of the youth exchange program. Before we go, would you guys like to add anything else?
I would add one thing. This is called an exchange program because it is. When Helene came here, there was an American student went to her community and to her high school. It wasn't somebody from Louisville. Actually, I don't know who it was, but maybe Helene has heard who it was.
It was a boyfriend from Taiwan, but the thing is, he was supposed to live with my family in Germany, but then he didn't came because he decided to go to college.
Oh.
But he was supposed to come, so
No.
that would have been the student my family would
Okay,
have hosted.
well,
Aren't you having another short-term exchange as soon as you get back?
Yes, as soon as I get back, I think like 3 days after, we're getting a student from Brazil, and he's gonna live in the guest rooms, like I think 5 days. We're kind of like the emergency family. So I'm excited to live with another host brother, I think, for a couple days.
yeah.
And we
but
have-
I
I'm sorry.
wanted to mention that, so when I said somebody was going to her community as an American student, this program is open to Americans to go around the world too. And so high school students that want to think about that can contact their local Rotary Club or call me at any time. And I'd be happy to meet with them and their families and discuss what's involved with the program, when it starts and ends, and all the ins and outs of it, the rules that they have to abide while they're gone. So it's a great program for students who are interested in it. I do have to tell mom and dad when their son or daughter goes away for a year that they're not getting the same student home. Their student will be much more mature and independent and have a much wider worldview than if they just stayed home for another year of high school. Do you agree,
Yes,
Helene?
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's exciting that Eliza is going this year because once COVID hit, there was a pause on youth exchange across the country by the State Department for a while, and then it opened up again. And Eliza will be the first one from our club since COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've mostly been talking about long-term exchange, which is what we focus on, but Eliza is doing a short-term exchange for students who maybe she doesn't speak another language well, and so that was her big holdup. So this is a short-term exchange she's doing, and it's truly an exchange because she is going to Belgium and staying with a family, and then there's a girl her age there, and then she will bring that girl back to our house. So we are truly exchanging children for a month each. And so we've already been in contact and FaceTimed the family and making plans on what she wants to see here and what Eliza will get to see there. And so there are different types of exchange programs, but certainly the long-term, getting that whole school year in is the best experience. You really get immersed in the culture with that one.
And again, without hosting, that probably would have never happened to the
Right.
Adkins
Oh,
students.
yes,
So it all
absolutely
starts
not.
there.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you all for coming and joining me tonight. Hopefully you guys are able to find a host family that is willing for next school year. Again, thank you for joining me, and that is all we have. Again, I'm Taegan Evans, and thank you for watching.